If you live in Massachusetts and you've had drain problems, you are not alone. Slow drains, backups, recurring clogs, this is something that we see every single day. And it's not random. There are specific reasons why homes around here deal with this more than people probably realize. Most homeowners think, well, it's just bad luck or something must have gone down the drain. But in reality, a lot of the drain problems here are built into the age of the homes, the types of the pipes, and even the weather. So in this video, I'm going to break down why drain problems are so common in Massachusetts, what's actually happening underground, and what you should be paying attention to as a homeowner. So we are in homes across Massachusetts every single day. Danvers, Reading, all over the place. And the patterns are very consistent. And once you understand what's causing these issues, a lot of it starts to make sense. So one thing is that older homes tend to have older pipes. Massachusetts has a lot of really old homes. And with older homes comes older plumbing systems. And what that means is a lot of these old homes still have cast iron pipes, they have clay pipes, or they have older materials that were standard decades ago that people don't really use anymore. And what happens over time is these materials corrode, they crack, they shift, and when that happens, the inside of the pipe is no longer smooth. So a smooth pipe obviously lets water and debris flow through easily, but a damaged pipe catches debris, it slows everything down, and unfortunately, it creates buildup much faster. And this is something we see all the time in these older Massachusetts homes. So one reason is older infrastructure creates a higher chance of recurring drain problems. The second thing that we see often is tree roots. This is actually one of the biggest issues that we deal with. A lot of people think, well, my pipes are underground and they should be protected. But in reality, roots are always looking for water. That's how they survive. And even the smallest crack in a pipe is enough for the root to try to get through. So what happens is a root finds a tiny opening, it grows into the pipe, it expands over time, and then eventually they block flow, they catch debris, and they create full clogs. And this is something that's common in Massachusetts because we have very mature trees, we have older neighborhoods, and we have established root systems. Massachusetts has been here for a long time. And believe it or not, we've actually seen pipes that are almost completely filled with roots, and it has become a really big issue for some homeowners. So an unfortunate equation is roots plus aging pipes equals recurring blockages. The third thing is these constant freeze and thaw cycles that we have in New England. This is something that is pretty unique to climates like ours, the freeze, thaw cycle. So in winter, the ground freezes, the soil expands, and then it thaws, and the soil shifts, the pipes move slightly, and over time, that constant movement stresses out the pipes, it creates cracks, and it causes misalignment. And at the end of the day, even small shifts can disrupt flow. They create low spots where debris collects, and it leads to recurring clogs. And like a lot of these things, this isn't something that you see, but it adds up over years and years. That's the hard part about the pipes being underground. You don't really see much. This one is really hard to control because it is quite literally the environment itself working against your pipes. Point number 4 is grease and everyday use. So this might not be specific to Massachusetts, but on top of all the things we talked about, there's the everyday usage. What goes down the drains? Grease, food, hair, soap. And what happens is even in perfect pipes, this builds up over time. But if the pipe is older and or damaged, it builds up way faster. So it's not just one thing, it's everything stacking together that creates these clogs. So what we're saying here is daily use plus imperfect pipe equals much faster problems. All right, so what does this mean to you? Well, when you combine everything, older pipes, tree roots, weather conditions, daily use, it's not surprising that drain problems are common here. What should we watch out for? Slow drains, gurgling sounds, recurring clogs, multiple fixtures acting up. And then this is the piece that a lot of people don't necessarily want to hear. The biggest thing you can do is catch the problem early, because when the issue is small, it's manageable. But the bigger the issue, usually the more challenging and or expensive it can become. It is a lot easier to deal with buildup than it is backup. Drain problems in Massachusetts aren't random. There are real reasons behind them, and once you understand those reasons, you can stay ahead of them, hopefully. If your drains haven't been acting normal, it is worth getting them checked out before it becomes a much bigger problem. We offer free estimates, and we can take a look before it becomes a far bigger issue.